So tonight we present Karen Hinds with the Community Volunteer of the Year Award. You gotta read a script here, Kim.
Karen Hinds is CEO of Workplace Success Group and has found volunteering to be a lifelong pursuit. Growing up in the Caribbean, in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, one of her earliest memories as a girl of 8 years old was deciding that she would raise funds for her church because they needed a doormat. Karen came to the United States when she was 15 and graduated from Bowdoin College with a bachelor's degree in political science and Spanish. Founding Workplace Success Group, Karen would spend more than 2 decades advising C-suite executives and teams on strategy, leadership development, and fostering inclusive cultures. Here's a tidbit of her advice. I don't know that Karen will remember giving me this advice, but we had a phone call, and I think it was around diversity, equity, and inclusion. And I was like, Karen, what are the best practices? I need to learn more. And she's like, don't ever focus on the best practice. Focus on the next practice. Do you remember that, Karen? So that is a little bit of her very wise, sage advice.
Excellent. Karen is an accomplished author with 5 books to her name, covering topics such as workplace best practices or next practices, developing powerful networks and global career guidance, and Workplace Success Group has provided global leadership, training, and strategic consulting for Fortune 500 companies under her leadership. Her involvement with the United Way of Waterbury began with an invitation from Kristen Jacoby, our president and CPO, and continued through an impressive list of commitments, including campaign vice chair during an extraordinarily challenging year of the pandemic. Karen was also a member of our campaign leadership cabinet and DEI council, as well as a trainer to help bring tools, information, and inspiration to our employee campaign coordinators.
As United Way returned to live events after the pandemic pause, we knew we needed something dynamic to celebrate. We turned to Karen, who served as our mistress of ceremony for our award celebration in 2022, entering flanked by cheerleaders. Do any of you remember that? Yes. Flanked by the cheerleaders, it was amazing. And bringing an energy sustained throughout the whole evening. It was a night to remember. But for those of you that were there in 2022, can you give a round of applause if you remember Frank Montero's speech? Some might say it was a smidge long. And for Karen, as the mistress of ceremonies, it put the stress in mistress.
That was good.
To others, she recommends finding volunteer activities that bring a sense of joy and accomplishment, and to find something that matters to you. Karen only recently retired from our board, and only because she moved to Florida. While she misses the opportunity to serve people in Greater Waterbury and those she's volunteered with over the years, she claims she doesn't miss the cold weather.
Well, it's supposed to be freezing tonight, so I'm going to say that she brought that cold weather from Florida. So that's what we're going to stick to that story. You should have seen her. She has Ugg boots and a heavy coat, and it's going to be like 40. She all of a sudden got Florida blood, and now it's she's freezing, which I absolutely love. She remains committed to empowering women globally through philanthropy, immersive leadership development experiences, and creating mentorship communities. Her renewed leadership and wellness experience, if you don't see, look in your book there and you can learn all about it, is a movement, and it empowers professional women to prioritize their mental, emotional, and spiritual wellness to increase their impact foster innovation, and strengthen their resilience as leaders. Karen once said, "Just like plants, each person requires a different approach and environment to grow and excel." Thank you, Karen, for watering us with your presence, authenticity, which has allowed us to grow and excel. So as she has moved on to Florida, and we talked about this a little while ago, she has went confidently in the direction of her dreams to live the life that she imagined. The United Way of Greater Waterbury is proud to recognize Karen Hinds with the 2024 Community Volunteer of the Year Award. If you would come up and say a few words.
Good evening, and thank you all very much for this award. Thank you, Kristen, thank you to the board, and thank you to all of you who are here. As you opened this evening, you said, when you quiet the noise, you can really listen. And today I want you to listen to yourself, because as I'm here accepting this award, this is just a small part of my life. And there's so much more to do. But for you, I want you to quiet the noise in your head that tell you that you can't. I want you to quiet the noise that tell you that you're exhausted and lonely. I want you to quiet the noise in the head that tells you that you're invisible and undervalued. Because on the other side of that is an individual inside you waiting to come forth. Inside of you is an individual telling you to step boldly into your greatness. Inside of you is an individual that says you're not done yet. And you don't need an award to volunteer. You just have to listen to the voice inside you that tells you that someone is in need. Yes, I moved to Florida, and no, I do not regret it. But I want to invite the women who are here, because in September I'll be hosting a leadership and wellness opportunity for the women who are tired and exhausted and frustrated and invisible and feel undervalued, and yet you're asked to lead. As you lead, you need a place where you can evolve. As you lead, you need a place where you can be your best self. And we've created that opportunity, and the information is in your booklet. So I leave you with this. As you leave this evening, never be afraid to step boldly into your greatness, because you were born for something so much more than what you think about right now. So thank you, everyone. I appreciate it.